What's up, guys? So I really felt like making this video from the same bench. I did a video approximately like 1.5 years ago. It was on the 1st of April, and I think now it's the 9th of August. And so I'm sitting in this town, and it's dark, and my video, the previous one, was about you're not always a priority. So what I explained during that video is that, or what I tried to explain, or I didn't even watch it again. I what I mean is that fortunately you're not always a priority, and you've got to accept that you're not always a priority. Just as this video now, or my first video, was like 20 views. But what does it matter? Because when I did the video on the 1st of April 2025, I would never have guessed what happened during that time, since then. I can tell you that since then, I've been to a lot of different countries, like, because at the moment I I recorded the video, I thought like my life was on pause and that I was doomed. Like, somehow I was caught up into the illusion that I was doomed into boredom and that not much would happen. But I can tell you that this illusion, it might be there in the moment, but it's not true, because since I made my last video, I went to multiple different countries. As I said, I've traveled, so I've met a lot of different people. I've engaged into a lot of different relationships, and even though, if you look at it from one perspective, nothing happened. But if you just like take a realistic kind of, I wouldn't know how to describe realistic. This is up to debate. But just by conventional means, what you understand by just conventions, by conventional, is that, like, since then, since I did this video, and now I remember it was, I was wearing a jacket because obviously, I mean, in this town on the 1st of April, it's not gonna be as warm as on the 9th of August. So now, okay, so I will not, this video is not just like randomly talking about my life. I might even exclude myself and the exact events that happened from this video, but I will still like try to like explain you, or like what's the point. So the whole point is that you might be caught up into a moment that you think is boring, and that you're in the middle of some dark village, and it's gonna be boring, and it's gonna be boring, and you have two choices, as I said. And I don't know if this was already my conclusion on the first video, but probably, but maybe not. But that was the hope, and I can validate that, first of all, in these moments, you have to accept that it's gonna be boring in the moment. There is like a boring aspect to it. And secondly, you have to, what was my first point? I will find it in a moment. Is that it's not gonna last. It's not gonna. You think so, like you're caught up into the illusion that it's gonna be boring, and that, let's say, no. At least that's my psychology. I'm 28 years old, and I'm like, I've wasted so much. Like I've wasted so much. And it's true, like if you look at it from a certain perspective, but what I can tell you is that since I made this video where I was holding that thought that not much would happen, that I was just like doomed to boredom, since then a lot of stuff happened. Of course, because I started boxing. I attended I've done almost a year of boxing in a club, like going to different cities, like just watching boxing like tournaments, like just um, 3 different cities, and like I never would have thought I would do these things. So this was new to me. Then I met. Okay, so I'm still looking for the right one, and I almost want to say the right one, yeah, because there's gonna be a right type of one, or like the circumstances, I think, is what's gonna make it. But since I did my first video, I realized that, I mean, since this is just to say that in a way nothing has changed. There is a side of boredom that you have to accept, and you're not always a priority means like what I was like. So this is like the following video to it. But I think that in my first video I wanted to say that sometimes some people, like, they're not gonna think about you. Sometimes some people in psychology, they're not gonna think about you. They're not, just as this video will probably not get many views. But the thing is that some people, that you don't know the whole like story about me. Maybe I might have had 2 million videos on some other like channel. I'm not saying it's the case, obviously, but it's just to say that this is like a comparison, that in these moments of being in, like, okay, so it's the town where my parents live, and to go into the city you have to take the train. You not only have to take the bus, I mean you can walk, but then you have to take the train. And I used to attend a school that was like in total 3 hours of like public transport a day. Sometimes, I mean, 2 or 2.5, but in total, like definitely sometimes like 4 or 5 hours. So that would be wasted out the window. So on one side, now that I'm saying this, because I also felt the need to do this video, because just a week ago, I was like surrounded, drowned by information messages, people. Just like because I was in another city than my parents. And even in that other city is not that crazy. It's like in the hood, it's like in the neighborhood. And one thing I've come to realize is that if you just like take a normal like posture and you dress normal, it could, and you are not even that like lean, or you are even lean, like people will not see. But since I like the last video, I've like actually improved some of my fitness. And the thing is, I'm not always walking around like this. and I could even like take, you know, but so the what I so this is like just now this is not the point. It's just like, but just to say that like me being 6'2" and like this in a way it might be it could look skinny and stuff, but so it's all like an illusion. Like now, not all of it is an illusion, but with AI, but also I mean just bodybuilding in itself, or like it is the light. You have to have a certain amount of shadowing to even show certain. Maybe it could be that I'm like much like smaller or bigger than I like first just like appear if I take on this posture or something. So this is just like a little, because I also made a video like that the gym isn't so good, and on the video I saw that I mean it was like 1.5 years ago too, and my neck was looking kind of like skinny, and just depending on how often I do this exercise and how much just like creatine or just how much I will eat in general, like carbs, I will maybe look like I have a thick neck, or I could just look like I'm like super like slim and skinny. But at the end of the day, it's just like water or like carbs and different kind of stuff. Like now the shadow will be underneath my eyes is also because like the bones like of my skull like are kind of like, I mean, obviously my eyes don't stick out, but now if you saw me in the daylight it could be that you think that my eyes look giant. Yeah, yeah, just like this it could be now with a different lighting, me in the same like position, in the same everything, you would think I have giant eyes, and now you don't even see my eyes because of the shadow of my skull and the light, like, you know. So but all of this is completely besides the point. It's just something that I've realized this year, kind of like recently. Not that I've realized, but that has like been confirmed to me as well. So in a way, I wonder if maybe like now that I'm 28, I'm not that flexible anymore. Uh, like because there are certain types of music, certain just like things that I've done and activities that I've enjoyed, like just say, let's just say swimming. Like now that I'm boxing, some people they were like boxing as I was swimming and doing the butterfly when I was like 14. And so now that I'm 28, I never knew about this activity, but when I was like 14, I I mean basically when when I was 14, but it's more like now I'm turning 29, and it was 15 years ago, and I was practicing swimming, and now I mean even the breaststroke I could do. This is my best one. It's the best. The breaststroke is my best stroke. I mean for real though, like if I like I will it's like pretty solid. Like I think even, but anyways, it's just. But so I wonder now. But I mean, I maybe the fact that I've been doing swimming, but I was never that good. Actually, I kind of sucked. I just like looked into, and now that I'm doing this video, I also notice how I'm speaking pretty loud, and there's like crickets around me, and it must be around like midnight. And I was chatting with some people, including a girl that I have met, that was, or that is, or that was, I don't know, the friend, but like almost not the girlfriend though, because they were. The thing is, look, like I have a friend that he doesn't want to like talk to me because like, I mean, my theory behind it is that he has a girlfriend now that it's occupying all his mental space. But on top of that, I attend the boxing club. When he had the choice between 6 months of prison or therapy, behavioral therapy, because he pushed the boyfriend of his ex-girlfriend and his ex-girlfriend down the stairs, and he like punched them, and they had like just like proof, like evidence, like a black eye. And so like at the time this guy was 21, and now I could like go off rails and all types of different like people that kind of like fucked me up, like that I fucked up too. Very oof, I mean, I I don't know, maybe I don't know, like I think I now took the emotional impact, but there's gonna be tension in the air. I don't know if you listen to this or anyone will listen to this, but I've talked to some people. I've talked to this girl, and I've come to realize that she also has this like kind of tension going on between like the guy that I got to know her like from, and the guy who invited him to sleep over at his house, but he wasn't at his place because he was on vacation with his girlfriend now. That is what I think is the reason why his behavior has kind of changed, because he used to smoke pot, he used to grow pot, he used to smoke so much pot, he used to be like a pothead. And I am still a pothead, but I smoke like today I smoked 2 joints. And the thing is that this guy, since I've met him, he very often radically cut out the weed and stuff. Maybe it didn't affect him the same as it did affect me, but he always tried to come off of it absolutely. For some reason, he always thought this is not okay. So I get it. And so this is the reason why he doesn't want to hang out, but it's not for some other reason, because there's some other guy. Oh yeah, now that I'm going to the boxing club, so this other guy we know each other from, he has investigation process because he hit someone in the supermarket because their music was too loud. And so I just like he brought me to the police, and I just said that I mean it just brought me there because I had my car and I thought we would go to a friend's place, but and then he brings me in. I'm not like prepared. He's like all covered up. I'm like, what, bruh? So what I on the next day I told them, because they saw him on camera, and I don't. They will never watch this, and if they will watch this, then then I'm maybe out of luck. But I told the police that like they should do it anonymously, but I'm confirming that he punched this person in the supermarket. And why did I do that? Well, because this guy, he is always like putting pressure on me for nothing. He's doing this like literally, like I'm so like forgiving, like, but then like you will say that I'm forgiving, and I'm still like picking up on these things. But I can tell you that this guy, he hasn't, as I said, punched someone in the supermarket who fell and complained. This was 6 months ago, and now 2 months ago they asked him like to give them his clothes, and uh, he doesn't know the outcome, but he didn't take a lawyer, so that's the first mistake. And you know what? It's because like the pressure he put on me. I don't know what if I'm fucked up. Maybe I will pay the price for that. But I think that actually. But I remember this one. Like I think it was a biology professor, but he was kind of fucked up too. But basically, what he said is like, good, you didn't snitch on your peer, and so he gave good feedback. He gave me I think he gave me good feedback for not having snitched onto someone. But then I just saw that this guy, like teacher, he got kicked out of the school. He smoked weed with the students at their Abi Bal, Abi Fire, which is I think their what is it, like a celebration of like high school. It's like the prom. I think. Anyway, so yeah, a lot of stuff happened. Now I'm like just like what was the main topic? Now I'm thinking about like this like English girl from the UK who wants to study to teach English and German, and she has studied German. She has an undergraduate bachelor's in German, and she speaks German like a German person. And but the thing is, when we met, now I could describe you a whole bunch like about like uh, beautiful explosive colors and like everything you want to see and like the best like peak. But now doing this video, I'm in the dark, like in this village, like at this like bench that I did my video 2 years ago, that you're not always a priority. And eventually, like this girl, she really lost interest because she's from another city. I mean, this is my main explanation, and it's probably true. It's just she's just like from a city that's um a bit far away. I mean, it's still like in Germany, because I'm in Germany, by the way. And so I think I haven't even noticed like the progress I did in the gym and stuff, because now I'm not. I don't care. I don't like this new. Maybe now this the problem is I'm becoming old. But when I see young people, see this is even my hamstrings, and you can see the definition. But it depends on. I could just like look slim like normal. Then in the winter time, if I eat a lot, then you will think I'm how do you say, chubby. But it's my body can, I think it's pretty flexible. Like it changed a lot during just my adulthood in terms of body weight. Like at the lowest I was like probably like 73, but probably I was in reality like 77, like if I actually just ate and stuff. But then I was also 98 in the morning, like above 98, and I was 100 all dressed up, and now I'm what, 82.3. So the thing is, um yeah, um a lot of stuff has happened. Like I haven't just joined the boxing club, I've even now had beef with the boxing club, but because of someone who doesn't even attend this boxing club anymore. So I'm like, guys, this is why I kept the mobile. I have a video that no one watched, because when I released it, I instantly made it private, because the thing is to release such a video, even if it's in the dark, in the middle of some Kuh Dorf, which is like a cow village, you will still have to post this video at home. And I don't know if it's that much of a conscious decision once you are into it, like, but there's an initial like decision, and so if you've had a break as I did, like I'm feeling, it's also like I'm feeling like a clown, I'm ridicule, like doing this video, you know, like can't you see why I'm making myself a clown? um and I mean, if you recognize it, um then I can tell you that if you think that it's gonna be boring in the moment, and that nothing is gonna happen, and that you're doomed to a certain thing, a year, I mean, since the 1st of April, and now it's August, since the 1st of April 2025, and now August, the 9th of August 2026, a whole bunch has happened, because you can measure it, like not just measure it, but you could like observe it, you could like take notes on it, you could like track it. And it's also what I did with all of my workouts since like the beginning of March, and I did it. I have a document on my computer that I'm just writing what I did as a workout, strength workout, like, and this is on top, or it's like besides, because I started boxing like in October, but since then, but then now they had a summer break, and now all of a sudden people who got a fine, not a fine, but it's like an investigation process, it's like prison, the charge, it's like the end result, if that person is judged as guilty, is gonna be jail for at least 6 months. And so the thing is that I don't give a motherfuck, because that person is not in the boxing gym. It's like completely outside of it. But now my boxing trainers are talking to me linked to that person that is not even training at their boxing gym, and that maybe trained like a bunch of times, or maybe they trained for 1 or 2 years, or maybe they did some fight, maybe, but it's not like crazy as hell though. It's not like, it's maybe it's okay, but like, I mean, I went to this gym now, and but this guy, he has a certain like kind of like power in my neighborhood, because he has grown up there, and these other guys too. And I came later, but I haven't come just like yesterday. But in a way, I've come just yesterday because I could just well snap out of it. Because I mean, I'm not like someone who has many cousins and many. I mean, I have a brother and a sister, but then like my family doesn't go further than that. So the thing is, I don't have such a big family. I have like a brother and a sister, but I don't have any cousins. And so in a way, that my video, like, I'm not always a priority. The girl I texted with, um, she said that, um, well, she had like tensions, like in the air, like with, what I told you, like her family, and she's also kind of foreign, but I mean, no, she's German though, but she has a foreign background, as I also do in Germany, as like so many people do in Germany. And the thing is, they apparently got like declined, or they will have to go back. They are in Sweden, and they will have to go back to their like home country, I guess. um, but I didn't get the thing is, I'm not getting the whole, like, I know it's just like bunch, like, it's just information that is to be taken with a grain of salt. It's just like one information. And now that I'm doing this, like, you know, it's like these fitness YouTubers. Like I could always like talk like this and like talk like this, but then I would have to. I'm not doing that. It's just because I'm too lazy to do it. So like when I say that I train and I go to the gym, and also since I'm not, as I said, I'm not gonna list off the things that happened in my life since I did my video on the 1st of April 2025. I'm just saying that now it's the 9th of August, and in a way nothing has changed. I've had a lot of like emotions, a lot of stuff, but at the end of the day no one cares about me in this moment. I mean, I tried to like make some noise in all kinds of ways, also ways that I regret, ways that I definitely don't regret, like things that I did that I'm fucking happy as hell that I did it. But the point is that in a way it's all very boring, maybe in a way, like in the moment, or you could be desperate that it's so boring and that you're doomed to boredom. But then you could also be afraid that you're like so excited that you're never gonna relax and you're never gonna come down. And trust me, eventually you will. As long as you live, you will always like land back on your feet. I mean, at least that's been my experience. Now I'm not talking like I don't have that much. Maybe, you know, some people, maybe they will like obviously say this is not the case, because what happens if you are in a wheelchair, for example? Then I wouldn't do this video in this fashion exactly like I did 1.5 years ago. And in fact, a lot of stuff has changed, and so this is pretty basic. I mean, on one level, a lot of stuff has happened, and on another level, it has remained very steady. So the point is just that whether you go up or down, at the end of the day, this is like so stupid. Like at the end of the day, so if you watch this, whatever like state you're feeling, eventually, just by nature, I mean, you can evolve a lot, like a lot can change, but this can be also like worrying. So all this excitement, it can also result into anxiety and feelings of being overwhelmed. But eventually you're gonna like land again, and um and so it doesn't matter, like make some noise, make some noise. Maybe some top people might be talking about you because you've effed them over. Some people might talk about you because you said some nonsense. No, you want to reduce that, because at the end of the day, so this is what I told my friend, who now she's also very volatile. So this one friend that I've told you about, so now she didn't really. The point was that I was like drowned or overwhelmed by so many messages just 1 week ago. And now 1 week has passed, and I'm like, so actually, no one cares about me, and I'm like, so all these ups and downs. I think this is like a powerlifter, like Pete Rubish. He said that to him, strength was not getting too high up on the like on the highs and not go too down low on the lows, like to have a certain like consistency, I don't know. So I think that was my rant. um, a lot of stuff has happened, actually almost too much to process, but I have so much on my plate now. Like I have so much stuff to do. Because I'm writing my bachelor's thesis. So I'm so none of my I think not that my professor is gonna watch it, but I'm writing my bachelor's thesis, and my professor my professors, they will not see this, but I'm lagging behind like crazy. One girl, she told me out of the 8 weeks she had to write her bachelor's thesis, or was it even 10, 12 in history, like she did it in 2 weeks. And so I did some work in the very beginning. I kickstarted it well, but then pretty fast, like I was messed up because it was the summer. And but it's also my second bachelor's, and my first bachelor, like the thesis, I didn't really do it because it was during COVID, I have to say. I mean, I did do it because at the end I got it and I fulfilled the requirements, but I got the lowest grade. And so did some of my peers. And this is such, just like, it just goes to show the, because I graduated from this degree 5 years ago, and I used it in a certain way, but it was really in my own way. And maybe that's what it was actually meant for, because what I did is like economics slash like business administration, like, so what I did with it was like teaching French and English, and I've sticked to it. And in the summertime, some people, they even criticize me. They're like, "You're a teacher, like just like you," but it's the summertime, so I'm not. Uh, it's just that people saw me like partying. Basically, they saw me partying, and they were like, "But you're a teacher." But I'm like, "Yeah, but it's now the summertime, and I'm 28, and I'm partying, and I'm on my way to become a teacher." And you have to like see the big picture. Yeah. So this video is also about seeing the big picture. I mean, over a year of my life has passed. So even now is like one out of 28. I mean, it's like a 30. So it's not that long in a way, but like it's also long. I don't know. It's also pretty long. It's long enough for a lot of things to have happened. Yeah, yeah. And some of these things I snapped out of them. Some of them I was curious. Some of them, and I engaged in them. I tried them out. I've stuck to them. I'm still sticking to them actually. Some people have vanished. Some people I have like run after. I have run after. Some people I have faded away from. So some people, so I think like, oh, I'm like, there's people I'm chasing after, but other people are chasing after me because they want to get in contact with me, and I didn't answer, or I didn't like answer their call because it was just a random number, and I felt like it was a random number, so I might not answer because maybe you know what I told you about, like I didn't like explain it in detail, but like the whole like story of the investigation, all that messed me up. That I'm like, guys, I'm doing boxing, like I was doing boxing, like I was doing swimming, or it's all for show. It's not to hit you in the fucking supermarket. And so and so this one guy who then talked behind my back because I was partying because it's the summer, and I told you it's not, I mean, you know. And so at the end of the day, maybe he has a point, but also I have a fucking point that I think that this guy is like 4 years and a half older than me, 4.5, and over 30, like 33, just punching someone like that in the street. Why would you do that? Like, In the supermarket, yeah, but I mean, this is like, and because their music was too loud. And so I was hanging out with that person on a regular basis, and I soaked up all this stupid behavior that is eventually gonna, like, I mean, this is also a stupid like mindset of thinking that, oh, all good will be done and it will all be like, justice will be done and stuff like this. But there is, I can tell you, there is a reason why this person has this, because I was surprised that this person was so violent, but I was convincing myself that they are not so violent, but now they have caught a case because they were violent. And so now I'm looking at the facts, at the obvious, and I mean, my intuition was right, and it's not just that, but yeah, to even be able to stand such a person and maneuver that situation. I mean, I came out of it with a fight once again, almost like basically like, yeah, yeah, next time, you just so you know, next time, like, and then other people talk, and then it's the same thing. And so these people, like, will they grow up, or will they just get sentenced if they get caught for their stupid behavior? And I mean, in a way, maybe there's like things I'm gonna have to pay for, but I asked to do this like anonymously because I didn't want to, like, you know, like, I just do it like, I don't give a fuck. I just want, I don't, it was just like also emotional, because I got fucked over by just being brought to that place. But this has happened recently now. I would never, this, I'm even attaching too much importance to it. So I don't want to have nothing to do with it. But it's just that in the moment I wanted to, like, you know. And so that's why I asked to do it anonymously. And apparently they said that they would take it into account. And maybe that's why I received the 2 calls, but I didn't give my number. So I don't think they have, and even I don't think my number is like official or anything like that. I don't think that my contract, or I don't think that if they want to reach out to me, the police, because of this thing, that they are gonna call me. They would like knock at my door. Yeah. So I know that it's not them. Maybe it's just because I took an appointment at the mechanic and I didn't show up. Maybe that's why. Maybe it's because of these guys. Like, I don't care about nothing. But this is just like a little thing of the moment. Just take care of yourself as best as you can. And I mean, I'm talking to myself now, but I'm also talking to you if you happen to watch this and listen until now. If you get caught up into the euphoria to the point where you're feeling anxious and that you cannot stand it no more, retain the thought that it's all like you're gonna like calm down as long as you live. I mean, there's gonna be cycles of that. And so this is very reassuring if you think about it in this way in that moment. And the same way, when it's boring, trust, it's not, enjoy the, so that's what I've told my friend on the phone. Enjoy the boredom. Like, enjoy the silence. Like, there was like a noise, like, I don't know if you've heard it, but the crickets, I heard them less, and I was talking loudly. And it's also this like machine, or like some kind of like air thing in the back that has now turned off, and I'm like soulagé, like the relief. I'm relieved. Yeah, that's the word. I'm just like, ah. Thank you. Yeah. So at the end of the day, yeah, yeah, but at the end of the day, I mean, this can be like sad if you think about it in a bored kind of way. But so when you're bored and when you're sad that you're bored, enjoy it, enjoy the silence, enjoy the boredom, because eventually it's not gonna be bored. At least that has been my experience now from 27 until 28. And what I have done is that I've come in and out of activities and I haven't done everything that I should have, and I want to improve. I have a lot of room for improving my life, for improvement. I have a lot of room for improvement in my life. I have a lot of room for improvement. So I'm not saying like, oh, I've like figured it out. You just have to stay balanced and you just have to have balance. I'm just saying that when you feel like it's boring as hell, then just trust that eventually it's not gonna be boring as hell at all. On the contrary, it might be too much to even handle. It might be even overwhelming, even to process. So tighten your seatbelt is what I told my one friend. Like tighten your seatbelt, because eventually, when it's gonna be time for action, it's gonna be on. When it's gonna be on, it's gonna be on for real. So you might be bored or you might be, but so enjoy that. Like at least like emotionally, like remind yourself, maybe mentally, like at least this is what I will try to do. And it's also kind of like the advice of an old friend who like I was working with, and he was like 29 turning 30 at the time, or he like 20, I was like 20 or 21. And he told me like it's ups and downs. Like, what did he tell me? Oh, after each up you have a down or something like this. But this is not so reassuring. But maybe what he was trying to say, and what is more reassuring to my psyche, and maybe it can help you. Maybe this is nothing to you, and this is just for me. But if you can like make something out of it, is that when it gets too much, too exciting, too hectic, too much to handle, too overwhelming and stuff, remind yourself that it's gonna go back down. Yeah. But maybe I've also like been very careful. But if I have done so many activities, like, but why? But maybe I've just also been careful. But then I mean, you can never, like, what's the saying, like break an egg, you cannot make an omelette, like you cannot make without breaking eggs, you cannot make a, you have to break the shell to make, cook the, I mean, yeah, you have to like break the shell to eat the egg in the end. And so yeah, maybe I got older, like 1.5 years older, but at the same time sitting in the same place in the dark doing this video, like on for this YouTube channel, I've also unarchived a lot of my videos. So for a long time, because I was just doing videos and no one watched them, and so it was humiliating. Obviously it was humiliating because my first video got like 1,000 views pretty quickly, like 1.1. Then I did one that I got like over 1,000 in one day. I'm getting kind of tired. So maybe it's also like what I wanted, to get kind of tired. Um, yeah. So what I've said, I think now I've said like the point, the main point, the message behind my video is that, oh yeah, what I wanted to rephrase what my buddy said, the highs and the lows, after each high you have a low and stuff like this. Like I wouldn't like at least put it in these like words. I would say that when you feel like it's too much, just remind yourself that you know by experience. At least I know by my own experience. I don't know if it is the case for you, but I hope so. I mean, because this is reassuring, but that eventually you're gonna come back down. And at the same time, if you have been down and if it's boring to you or for you, then it's gonna go back up sooner than you think, or sooner than you could even handle and like reflect on. So make the best of it. Like handle it like as best as you can in the moment, but um, yeah, at the end of the day, um, yeah, this thing of you're not always a priority. So how does it link to the ups and lows? Um, it links to the ups and lows because like sometimes you're on the front of like the in the front light. Sometimes you're like in the front light. Like maybe hundreds of thousands of millions will watch you, will think about what you've put out. But then like even nowadays, like once you've put it out and once it's out there and like the people who are gonna watch it, you're maybe gonna know not gonna know like about, and at the end like of the day this expression I've overused now, but yeah, like you might be just like an like a thought like for a person, like, but you could also invade one person's like live in their heads. But this is not the point, because if you want to reach out to a lot of different people and have a healthy like variety of experiences, like you also have to be able to snap out of situations. And that's why I'm giving myself that's also what I'm giving myself a tap on the shoulder for. And that's also what I blame other people for. But at the end of the day, I think that I'm often the initiator of a lot of people I stop being in contact with, and but others might also be initiators of people I get like in contact with, but and I don't realize that at the end of the day. But I'm also often, I mean, not in I don't know if I'm that passive or like active as a person, like socially, meaning that I go up to people, but yeah, I can go up to people and just start something if I want. Like if I go into a crowded place, into a big city, but at the same time, I might not be relevant to them at all, and just be a random guy. So yeah, so listening to these, I think they are called crickets. It's a different season. Over a year has passed, but it's still the same. I mean, maybe my memory is not good enough and I sat over there, but I don't think so. I think I sat over there like 2 years ago, or a little less, uh, talking on the phone. But no, it was not even that much less. So now I'm remembering that I have to find a way soon to ground myself in such a way that I will like write my bachelor's thesis, like, because what I've said, I've kickstarted it. I know the theme. But maybe I should like just like do it fast, which would like be the girl who said 2 weeks. But I mean, I have a whole bunch of material that's already prepared, and I could just like what I want to do is I want to tap into 10 days of strategic. I can even do bullshit on the side, but I have to even use the time that I use like efficiently, like Mike Tyson's boxing. You know, it's fast, just like sometimes. I mean, some it's just a instant like knockout. like this, but it's not. Yeah, so this is how I wanna, like, this is my intention, because also it's the only choice I have. It's the only choice I have a chip on my shoulder doing this now. I know that I am guilty as hell of not having, like, how far do I want to drag it down? Tomorrow my parents are gonna be there. Like, I've had the time of my life during the summer. Like, I've enjoyed a whole lot. I've been lazy as hell, but I've been training a lot too. But I've been kind of mentally lazy. So I maybe, to end this video, just now, and maybe even since I did, maybe there's moments I struggle with, not physical laziness, even though I also do, but not mostly. What I mean is that I mostly probably struggle with mental kind of laziness, of like just sitting down and with a pen and or on the computer and being like, okay, so I have to get my head into it. So okay, so let's see if I even post this. So it's been like almost an hour, and I'm gonna go back home, and now I feel like eating because I have like a late schedule, and I see a couple of stars in the sky, and it's nice. And I don't know if I'm gonna post this video. Maybe I'm gonna title it like, "You are not always a priority, and that's a good thing, and that's should be a good thing," or something like that. Yeah, maybe that's how I'm gonna call it. Because it's not like, oh, you're not always a priority. Like, oh no, not people are not always gonna like watch me and always. No, sometimes you also need to like breathe and to have like a break and to, yeah, and to recover, to be, to then like be efficient again and all that. But it's not, this video is not like a video about like being efficient and stuff. Is the other thing I told you about, the like time passing and the ups and downs, and how when you're down, just like remind yourself that it's gonna become hectic pretty soon, like sooner than you think. So you might as well just enjoy the silence and the peace and stuff, because and then when it gets boring, like I've repeated this a bunch of times now. So yeah, what I will have to do is, I think I will have to kind of like force myself to meditate, because it has kind of always worked to help me study. I have to say, until now, because I'm not that much of a brains person. Maybe I need that, like, I don't know, maybe, what do I know? Maybe I am a brains person, I don't know. But I don't think I'm the most. No, no, definitely not. I'm also like a physical, emotional person. And so, anyway, so also like the video, I am a failed athlete and stuff. I still haven't proven myself in any like sport by having any good. Uh, I still haven't proven, but but I'm training like a lot. But maybe I'm not like, yeah. I also don't have the best like habits. Let's just put it this way. But then I'm still training, and I'm still like, at the end of the day, it's also like recovery. And see, oh, I made this video. I'm just gonna calm down. I'm gonna go back home. I'm gonna eat, and let's see if I post it. If I have the nerves. No, but let's see if I post it. Because I mean, it's kind of boring, and who would watch this? I mean, but if you happen to watch this and I send a sign out there, then I wish you all the best, and thank you for watching. And um, maybe you can take something from this video and make the best out of what of it, because they always talk about being your best version and stuff. Yeah, that's good, but also just make the best out of it, of the time you have, and the experiences and the blast you want to have, right? Okay, have a good one. This video is pretty much exactly an hour. Now it is. Bye bye.